Yeah, so I am again happy that we don't have a lot to talk about as far as macro goes right now. To kind of just quickly summarize where we've been recently and where we think we're going to go with that stuff, I'm mainly talking about the Fed and the FOMC readings or meetings, and that is we recapped it a lot last week, but it seems that the indicator there is they're going to continue to tighten down and we might be getting lower interest rate hikes, but for longer. So, we'll kind of get into what we think that means on a longer time horizon. But in other words, I think, through most of quarter one of 2023, we are going to have continued rate hikes, although not of the 75-point variety from the Fed. And we'll see how that kind of impacts the market. So that's kind of where we are macro wise. I haven't really seen any news outside of that. I think people want to take a nice Christmas or holiday vacation right now and not worry about all that garbage, frankly. But yeah, is that kind of your vibe, Ewok? I mean, it seems like that's what they've floated. And here's a question I'll pose to you too. And I asked this the other day on a poll on the YouTube channel. But when do you think they do pivot, which is going to lead us to an even bigger conversation? But when do you think they do cease the rate hikes in 2023? We'll just start there. When do you think they stop with hiking rates?
I March, April, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Another, what do we have? January, February. We'll see how it plays out those 2 months. And then maybe March. They could start to pivot. Richard, I don't know if you saw the stream he was on with, and I don't even remember the guy's name,
Paul
unfortunately.
Barron.
Paul Barron, yes.
Yeah, we're going to get, I have a whole bunch on that. Yeah, go ahead though.
So, but the pivot, is usually what leads up to the reversal. So, or a bigger capitulation dip. So I still think we have a couple months. We could still see a bottom though. I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like I said, this is the first time this has happened where we've got a major economical downturn the same time as the crypto is. Usually, when crypto's on a bear cycle every 4 years, the economy's still doing strong. They're still printing money. And there's a lot of economic energy going back into it once it does capitulate and turn around. So this one's going to be a little different, maybe a little bit longer, more drawn out, but it will be there. It's still going to hold to that 4 year, just maybe a little extended period of time. We'll have a shorter bull run, maybe. That'll all happen a little bit quicker, more accelerated, I think. But it'll still stay in that cycle.
I like something you said there, Ewok, about this time may be a little bit different. A lot of people, that's become a meme to say like, oh, this time is different. And like a lot of people that have been bearish in this bear market have been mocked or criticized for saying that this time is different because, oh, what if we go this low this time or whatever? Well, it literally is different in the sense that you just said. Yes, we are in a different macro landscape here. Now, that doesn't mean that we all think that somehow Bitcoin's going to go to 3,500 again, like the previous cycle or something like that. But like you just said, Ewok, it is kind of like, well, whether a price or a time factor here. I think time makes a lot more sense. What you just alluded to, that maybe we're in this a bit longer, but frankly, that's also kind of just accounting for, the risk of making a projection. We hit 69K, the ultimate high of 2021 in November of 2021. That could mean either this last month, November, where you and I were first saying we'll see new lows, which so far we were correct on, it could either be like that's the end of the ferocious 1 year bear market, or we could be looking more towards like a January, and I think you and I are both kind of hinting at that already.
Yep.
And then even with the rate hikes and stuff like that, right, we're going to get into more of that Paul Barron, Richard Hart interview. But yeah, it's typically when the Fed does pivot in these type of environments when you actually see a bottom or when things turn around. So, I mean, hey, that leaves the door open for maybe even the spring for potentially for a low or So I think
close.
Time
we're close.
I think time could be the X factor here. Do you think there's more credence to that than, I mean, I know you think we're going lower price wise, but I don't think you think that all of this means Bitcoin plunges into the single digits, right?
No, not at all. I just think it's going to be a little extended. Normally the bear market lasts about a year. This time, I think we're going to go probably 14 to 15 months. Um,
Hmm.
and, again, I think we'll have a shorter bull cycle because of it. But it will play out that way, and they stay pretty much on top of the 4 year cycle.
Yes. Yeah. I think you're right. And it is important to like, some people I think don't like the way the 4 year cycles look, and it's not good with their way of looking at the market or they don't understand it or whatever. But we're going to break that down a little bit more tonight. And yeah, I think we're pretty safe in saying that the first quarter of 2023 is either likely where we're going to see a new bottom, or if the bottom is already in, I think we still pretty much stay stagnant around where we are and kind of on par with the previous bottom of 15.4K or whatever it was, through the spring, basically. So